Hello, this is KI5UOG, standing by for the UT Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net, beginning at 8 p.m. local time on this repeater. Alright, it is 8 o'clock, and it's time for the UT Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net, heard Wednesday nights on this repeater. My name is Matthew. Matthew. Haha, lol. My name is Ethan, call sign KI5UOG, and I'll be your net control for the evening. This is a controlled net, meaning nets should refrain from transmitting until designated check-in or comment time. You can hear us on the University Link repeater system, the N5OAK repeater system, and the W5AC repeater in College Station. There are other ways of checking into the repeater system, and you can find more details at the website ki5d.com/repeaters and n5oak.org/repeaters. Please give a couple of seconds in between transmissions to allow all system links to communicate with each other. Before we begin, is there any emergency or priority traffic on this frequency? If so, please call now. Nothing heard. We don't have any scheduled breaks to check for emergency traffic during the net this evening, but we'll gladly yield the air if any station calls in with emergency or priority traffic. KN4LRA, are you able to be my backup net control this evening?
Hey Ethan, this is Matthew, KN4LRA. I am available to be your backup net control this evening. Let's rock and roll.
Alrighty, awesome. Well, the UT Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net is a social net with the purpose of bringing local radio operators together to share knowledge, discuss club activities, and keep in touch. All hams are invited, both new and experienced, and no club membership is required. If you're new to the net, the way this works is very simple. In just a bit, we'll invite everyone listening to check into the net. We will start with short time check-ins for stations who just have a few minutes with us, then move on to general check-ins and comment time. Before we get started with check-ins, we have some announcements from the club. And I am going to pass that over to KN4LRA for the announcements.
Thank you, Ethan. Not too much on the announcement side from the club this week, but we do have a club meeting this Thursday evening at 6 p.m. That'll be in the ETC building. And in other club news, we do have some little bit of antenna shenanigans going on, having to do with some construction at UT. So unfortunately, our shack is off the air for a little while, but thankfully we still have VHF and UHF, and are still here with you tonight from our HTs. So that's pretty much it from the club. I'll send it back to you. This is KN4LRA.
We are going to start off today with short time check-ins. If you're out there and know that you just have a few minutes but still want to say that you checked in, this is your opportunity to do so. To keep things brief, we will not take general comments from short time stations. Short time stations, please call now. David, Kilo Golf 5, Uniform Bravo Bravo, just for short-term check-in. Awesome. David, good to hear from you. We have you down here. Any other short-time check-ins? Please call now. Alright, nothing heard. It's about time to do another station ID. You are listening to the UT Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net, hosted by the University of Texas Amateur Radio Club, every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. here on the University Link repeater system and the N50AK repeater system. My name is Ethan, call sign KI5UOG, and I am your net control for the evening. Next, we are going to move on to general check-ins. Any general check-ins, please call now.
Kilo 5 Tango Radio, George. This is Whiskey Zulu 5 Bravo Bravo Sierra Rusty, Northwest Austin. This
Echo Juliet Lima.
This Kilo India 5 Papa Zulu November, Ernesto.
Alright, welcome to George, Rusty, Joe, and Ernesto. Any other general check-ins, please call now.
This is Kilo Lima 4 Lima Juliet, Hudson.
This is Kilo India 5 Tango India Alpha Young.
Alright, we have got Hudson and Young. Any other general check-ins? Alright, nothing heard. Now we are going to go ahead and go into comment time. For me, this week has been busy but fun. I got to travel to New Orleans this weekend with the UT sailing team. We had a team racing regatta competition. We ended up getting third overall, so that was pretty nice. Super fun time, super short and choppy waves there in New Orleans, so that made it for some challenging conditions. And overall, just really fun to road trip. We ended up driving there and driving back, so it was just a good time. 7 people in the car, just hanging out, messing around, having fun. First on the list, we have K5TR, George.
Sorry, Ethan, I've forgotten your call sign, but in the net, K5TR, driving west here on 290. Good to hear the UT net, as always. I do want to know what kind of sailboats you're sailing. Anyway, I think that's it. K5TR mobile.
Yeah, so we are sailing small dinghies about 14 feet long, or 4.2 meters to be exact. They're called 420s, hence the 4.2 meters, hence the 420. We sail 420s. They're 2-person boats with just 2 sails, and then we're doing it in a team racing format, so it's like 3-on-3 type of racing, and whoever gets the lowest amount of points wins. So yeah, super fun, and great to hear from you, George. Any other general comments for George? Alright, nothing heard. Next on the list, we have WZ5BBS, Rusty. Rusty, how's it going? What you got going on?
Hey, Ethan. Just hanging out at the house. We had a fun day today. The Oak Hill Club got together for a little Chinese buffet action, and so far nobody's got COVID or IBS, so we're doing all right. Did that and came back home, did a little work, and all that kinds of fun shenanigans. We've got a fun fox hunt going on from now until we find it. We got some rogue signals out on the 147320, which is our main repeater. Somebody is sending out the AFD locution system, something like that. It's an automated system. So I think we're going to be running around this weekend, at least Ernesto and I, trying to find that. I got the pleasure of having lunch with Matthew last Saturday, and he was telling us that they send all the awful people at sailing off on the road trips, and they keep all the good people here local, and that's why he stayed. So I don't know if that's true or not, but something to that effect. Other than that, man, looking forward to the weekend. Got a pretty chill rest of the week unless something blows up. And that's about all I got. KI5UOG, you doing good on the net, man. Back to net control.
Oh, well, it's interesting that you say that Matthew said that. I can't seem to remember the last time that he ever beat me in a sailboat. It's been a while. I for some reason I think my memory's failing me. So that's my bad. Any other general? Wait, sorry, you said back to net. My first time. Can you tell? Next on the list, we have K5EJL, Electronic Junk Lover, Joe. Joe, how's your week been?
Well, good evening to all of that. Good. I spend all my time, of course, over at Lhasa High School, where we now have about over 10 active members in the club who are not in the class. The class had 2 more people pass their technician class exams last week, and we've had 2 new recruits in the club. These are 9th and 10th graders, and which is really good because in all these years we've hardly ever had 9th and 10th graders. That's because they load them up so much. So our current project is trying to overhaul antennas, sweep some transmission lines, have all the new folks build themselves some kind of a dipole and get some coax on it and see if they can get on the radio. So that's what I do, seemingly forever. K5EJL, back to net.
Awesome. Well, good to hear from you, Joe. That's interesting that about the you don't have many 9th and 10th graders. I guess that makes sense when you think about it. High school does get a lot more busy, and interests sort of start to vary. I'm going to open it up to any comments or questions for Joe.
K5TR.
George, go ahead.
So, Joe, thanks for all you do there, the high school club. I have a question for you, and maybe, depending on your answer, maybe I can expand on this some off the net. But when you checked in, it reminded me. I wanted to ask you: do you know anything about the history of the Little Print Shop? And if so, I'm interested. K5EJL, K5TR.
I have somewhere in the Radio Club archive something that relates to the Little Print Shop, but I can't remember what it is now. No, I'm really at a loss. Of course, I've known about it since I got to Austin in the 60s. But, no, I'll kind of keep that in mind, George, and see what I can find. I've got a stack of stuff here that I need to sort through and kind of file it in the archive, so to speak. And I may find it in there, but right off the top of my mind, no, I don't think I can tell you much.
Okay. Well, I would certainly be interested if you have some additional stuff. And then if you have suggestions on other people to talk to. I actually discovered that Marv, N5AW, actually worked there when he was in high school. So he's been some information. I need to bug him some more and get some more things out of him. But anyway, very good. K5TR, thanks.
You bet. Old Bert Perrine, W5SMP. I see him some Saturday mornings at Waterloo Ice House. I'll try to remember to ask Bert when he comes what he remembers, because, of course, he's been a ham in Austin long before I even got here. But anyway, I'll check that out. Back to net, K5EJL.
All right, that's good to hear about that. Any other general questions or comments?
This is AG5UBB.
David, go ahead.
I just wanted to say thank you for getting more younger people into ham radio. I started around 7th grade, and yeah, it's been real fun ever since. And yeah, I just wanted to say thank you. Remind them all to go to UT. We got a ham radio club, right? You know, don't choose the school because of their program. Make sure to choose the university because of their excellent amateur radio club. We need more members. So yeah, I just wanted to say thanks and keep up the great work. Kilo Golf 5, Uniform Bravo, Bravo, back to net.
All right, any other comments or questions for Joe? Nothing heard. It is about time for another station ID. You are listening to the UT Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net, hosted by the University of Texas at Austin Amateur Radio Club, every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. here on the University Link repeater system and N5OAK repeater system. My name is Ethan, call sign KI5UOG, and I am your net control for the evening. All right, next on our list of general check-ins, we have KI5PZN, Ernesto. Ernesto, what's going on? How you been?
This is KI5PZN. Thank you for running the net. You're doing a great job, by the way. Sounds like a seasoned net controller there. And hello to everybody on the net. Nothing too exciting. I've been busy with work, so very little radio activity in the last couple of days. But I got to meet the guys, the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club guys today for lunch, like Rusty was saying earlier, a few of the guys, and got to meet two that I haven't met in person. That was really nice. But then after that was just back to work, and right now just hanging out here at the house with my son Enrique. Yeah, nothing too exciting on the ham world for now, but hopefully we'll change soon. Back to net. This is KI5PZN.
All right, good to hear from you, Ernesto. Do we have any other questions or comments for Ernesto? Nothing heard. We are going to take a little break from the list and go to our backup net control, Matthew, KN4LRA. Matthew, how have you been? Got anything interesting going on?
Hey, Ethan. Thank you so much for running the net tonight. Super fun, and great job so far as your first time here as net control. It's sounding really good, and yeah, just wanted to congratulate you on that, and thank you so much for jumping in to run the net tonight. In terms of what's going on with me, man, I am just over here getting ready and getting myself mentally prepared for spring break, and by that, of course, I mean slowly checking out on homework and all that other school stuff. It's kind of a funny story. In my business law class earlier today, the professor was making jokes about students not showing up because about 50% of people weren't there, even though it's already Wednesday. And he was saying, they give us the whole next week off. For us to have next week off, we're not supposed to be here this week. But obviously, as you all can imagine, a lot of students are bugging out a little bit early, even as soon as today. So I'm still here, and I'm still going to be going to class through Friday as I should. But man, in terms of the things I'm looking forward to, spring break is the thing. I'll be headed back home to Sarasota here on Saturday morning. So in terms of radio things, my next big project is going to be resurrecting my All-Star nodes from whatever state that I manage to find it in when I get home. Hopefully everything still works and I can just fire it right up, and I'll be able to jump on for the weekly Line Down Net on Sunday night with Ernesto. But other than that, that's pretty much all that's going on my end. I'll send it back to you, Ethan. Thanks so much for running the net. This is KN4LRA.
Awesome. Well, Matthew, good to hear that. I am also very much looking forward to spring break. I have my first ever powerlifting competition on Sunday. So that's squat, bench, deadlift. I'm really looking forward to that. It'll be definitely a new experience, and I'm super competitive, so definitely looking forward to that. And then thinking about going down to Corpus to do some windsurfing and sailing after that. I'm going to open up the floor for any questions or comments for Matthew. All right, nothing heard. Next, we have KL4LJ, Hudson. Hudson, how are you doing?
This is KL4LJ. I am doing pretty well. Just headed to the library to study for an exam I've got tomorrow morning, and then the club meeting out here at W5AC is tomorrow night, so I'll be doing some prep work for that tomorrow afternoon. There's a new-ish packet digipeater satellite, so after our meeting we're going to try to see if we can work anybody through that satellite. It's called Green Cube. Have any of y'all heard of that? So yeah, just a little bit more busy, and then I'll be headed to Minnesota to see my dad's family for spring break, and should be a good rest. That's all from me. Back to net control. This is KL4LJ.
All right, great to hear from you, Hudson. Any comments for Hudson?
LRA?
Go ahead, Matthew.
Hey, Hudson, I just wanted to jump in really quick here and say once again how super cool it was to be connected up for y'all's net on Monday night. For those who are out there and listening and do not know, we're now connected to the W5AC system in College Station, both on Wednesday nights, and in the future we're going to be connected on Monday nights for their net as well. Super great net, and y'all really put something cool together, and it was a lot of fun. So thank you so much for that, and I hope you'll pass that message along to Ian, who ran the net, and everyone else in the club, because it was super cool, and I'll look forward to chatting with y'all next Monday on the net as well. This is KN4LRA, and I'll send it back to net control.
Awesome. Well, good to hear from you, Matthew. Any other comments or questions for Hudson?
KL4LJ.
Ed?
Yeah, it's been pretty good to have y'all, to be in contact with y'all, both on our net and on yours. I will definitely pass all of that you said along to Ian and everyone else in the club, and I'm looking forward to continuing talking with y'all about various radio things and keeping this going. It's been lots of fun. KL4LJ, back to net control.
Awesome. Well, good to hear from you. Any other general questions or comments for Hudson? Nothing heard. Next on the list, we have KI5TIA. Young, how are you doing? What you got going on this week?
Hi. Thanks for running the net tonight, and hello to everyone else. Can't say I've had too much this week, other than some assignments and whatnot. I've just been sitting here, eating some bananas, listening on to the net. It's been pretty fun. So once a week, get some ham activity. But other than that, I think Matthew already mentioned the meeting tomorrow. I believe it's tomorrow. But anyways, that's all I have. Back to net control.
Awesome. Well, yeah, it's sometimes comedic how many bananas my roommate Matthew and I have in the house at one time. It is bulking season, so bananas are a good way to go for that. But sometimes we'll have like 3-4 bunches of bananas in the house at once. Pretty funny. But gonna open it up for any questions or comments for Young. Alright, nothing heard. We're going to do a quick station ID real quick. You are listening to the UT Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net, hosted by the University of Texas Amateur Radio Club every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. here on the University Link Repeater System and the N5OAK Repeater System. My name is Ethan, call sign KI5UOG, and I am your net control for this evening. We are going to open it up to any other check-ins that would like to call in. If you would like to, please call in now. Alright, nothing heard. I guess everyone went to sleep. I'll open it up one more time for any general check-ins, and if I don't hear anything, we will be able to close it out here. Alright, nothing heard. Thank you very much for joining us for the UT Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net, a service of the University of Texas Amateur Radio Club. Call sign N5XU. We're here every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. We are the official amateur radio club of the University of Texas at Austin. For more information, please visit n5xu.org, where you can read about the club and sign up for our email list. Thank you for joining us for the UT Amateur Club Weekly Net, service of the University of Texas Amateur Radio Club. I am Ethan, call sign KI5UOG. from my headquarters here in North University. 7-3, and thank you again. The system is now returned to regular amateur use.
KI5UOG, WZ5BBS.
Hey Rusty, KI5UOG.
I love your call sign, man. It's KI5 University OG. That's easy to remember. Hey, so dude, you have to do more nets. You've got a great personality to make this happen. But also we got to get you on the Discord, man. Are you on Discord? We got to figure out how to make that happen.
I do indeed have a Discord account. I will have to ask for an invite from the far, far away place of Matthew, who's very far away from me right now. But I'll have to ask him for that. And thank you very much. It's actually a lot of fun. Yeah.
It's already in your text messages, buddy. KN4LRX.
It's like magic.
It looks like he actually sent that before you even told me to, or asked me to join the Discord. He sent it about 4 minutes ago, so that's pretty. He was already one step ahead of you there, Rusty.
Yeah, he typically is. So you do yachting, and you said you're doing powerlifting this weekend. Tell us about that, man. We didn't really get to chat much. You asked us about stuff, but we didn't really get to talk to you. So tell me about this.
Yeah, so I've been going to the gym for a while now, since like probably senior year in high school. I'm a junior engineering student here at UT, but started going to the gym consistently senior year in high school, but just got into sort of powerlifting type training in last spring. So I've only been doing it for about a year, but powerlifting is when you do competition, you compete in 3 lifts. Squat, bench, and deadlift. You get scores based off your highest, your total between those 3 lifts, and then you get 3 attempts at each lift. So you would probably go up in weight each attempt. And yeah, just have my first one coming out this Sunday. I'm super excited. Like I said, very competitive, and it's been cool to have a competition to sort of peak at, and like a real reason to be training hard in the gym, and picking up and putting down heavy things, more motivation to do that, and it's honestly just really fun. So yeah.
Right on, man. So in the year that you've been training, how much have you bulked up?
It's funny that you asked that. So I have probably gained I've gained 30 pounds, honestly. And the main reason for that is actually not powerlifting, but for my windsurfing. So I'm training hard to to actually try and go to the Olympics for windsurfing. And at the World Championship for the boat I sail is called an IQ foil. At the World Championship, none of the top 5 guys were under 215 pounds. So weight is super important in order to go fast. And so trying to bulk up, get big, and the reason it's so good, the weight, is just you have more leverage, so you're able to keep the boat, keep the sail sheeted in harder. So you just are able to get more speed forward, which is super, super important, especially when you're going as fast as we are going. But yeah, I've been trying to gain a lot of weight, and it's been funny, looking in the mirror, man, 1 year ago me would not have thought I would be this big. But yeah, it's been cool to have something to work towards, and powerlifting has been a really fun way to do that.
Well, very cool, man. Congrats on that. That's always a big accomplishment. I was always a chunky dude, so I've been trying to lose weight my whole life because I've always been a fat ass. but it seems to be equally hard to put it on or lose it depending on what you want. But how fast did how fast are y'all going out there on those boats?
Yeah, that's interesting to hear. Yeah, I had to do my fair share of weight loss in high school when I was sailing a different kind of boat where I wanted to be lighter, and always super hard. But like I underestimated how hard the bulking up would be, just like having to stuff yourself 7 days a week, 24/7. It's quite difficult. But yeah, the IQ foil, we go about 20 miles an hour when we're going upwind, and then up to 35 miles an hour top speed. Yeah, so pretty fast. And then add on top of that speed, you're like half a foot or a foot away from other boards going the same speed, and you're crossing them, and then you have to look at the wind and figure out what's your best strategy, and then you have to go around the marks. And there's a lot going on, but it's super, super fun.
Well, just so you know, Matthew was singing your praises at lunch. He said that you were fantastic at the whole sailing sport, and that's why you went to New Orleans. But I figured since both of y'all were in the house, y'all could look at each other and realize I was playing. Well, all right, man. Well, hey, have a good night, and thanks for running the net. Hopefully, we'll hear you more on the air. KI5UOG WZ5BBS. We'll holler at you later, man.
Yeah, sounds good. I understood it was a joke, but I just kind of wanted to prod back at Matthew because that's really fun. But yeah, 7-3. Have a great rest of your night. KI5UOG.
KI5UOG, this is KL4LJ.
Hey, Hudson. This is KI5UOG.
Do you happen to know if y'all will be running nets next week?
KL4LJ, this is KN4LRA. Hey Hudson, I'm planning to run the Wednesday night next week. I'll be home in Florida, but I've got the link set up on my laptop, so I am going to run the Wednesday night net next week.
Cool, sounds good. I'll have to pack my handheld and see if I can find a All-Star node somewhere in Minnesota I can borrow. All right, 7-3, have a good night. KL4LJ, clear.
Super cool, man. We'll have fun in Minnesota. That sounds a little chilly compared to where I'm going to be. But also, just one thing I thought I'd mention since you were talking about All-Star nodes there. Keep an eye out. I'm going to work on my micro All-Star node project in the next couple of weeks, and I'll also be sending out some stuff on our Discord about what that project looks like, trying to make it like under a $50 All-Star node that people can carry around, especially for students. So keep an eye out for that if you're interested. But yeah, 7-3, this is KN4LR.
Sounds good. Also, nice job on running the net to Ethan. This is KL4LJ. See y'all later.
Thank you very much. Have a great rest of your night.
LJ call sign WZ5BBS. You still there? Was it K4LJ? Are you out there?
It was Kilo Lima for Lima Juliet. That's Hudson from A&M. I guess he must have turned his radio off. I know he said clear, and then I just kind of kept talking.
Hudson, you still with us? All right, well, I was going to tell him about Echolink if that was going to be any easier for him, but oh well. We'll talk at y'all later. WZ5BBS.
Thanks, Rusty. I'll shoot him a message on the Discord. That is a good suggestion and probably a lot easier to work with an All-Star.
Yeah, and if he signs up now, they ought to have his account activated by spring break, so it's not one of those instant things. But yeah, I figured that'd be easier to put an app on his phone than monkey around with a bunch of stuff. Plus, I don't know, unless he comes from a ham family, finding an all-star node just hanging out in Minnesota, that doesn't sound like an easy thing to find, but I could be wrong. WSAT5BBS.
Yeah, that's a good point. I did kind of go the DIY route with mine. It was good fun, but not everyone can do that. Well, I'm gotta sign off here and finish up some homework tonight. But Rusty and Ethan, if you're still out there, Ethan, great job running the net tonight. Rusty, great to talk to you as always. And I guess I'll probably hear y'all on the net tomorrow night as well if I manage to get out of my meeting in time. But if not, we'll talk to y'all soon. This is KN4LRA.
Right on, man. Night, Matthew.
7-3.